In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the best running backs in Madden 23 Ultimate Team. Today, we are back with another tier list, man. Today, we got running back. Running backs, I think, is a super competitive position. So we're just going to go ahead, get it started, go in order of each one. Naji Harris, first one up, I think is a really good budget power back. I like Naji Harris a lot. He's B or C for me. I think given the cards that in my head are going to be an S and B, I'm gonna go ahead and put Naji in the C tier right now, but that does not mean I do not like the card. I think C tier and up all usable, especially at the beginning of month, man, because me personally, I'm gonna be rocking some of the cards in C tier just to save a little bit of coin. So yeah, I really like Naji. Now we got the pre-ordered Deandre Swift. I feel like I should put him F tier because if you didn't pick Lamar or Waddle, I feel like that was a really bad choice, but I don't even think the card's that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the D tier right now. That's just because I'm a lot higher on Naji than I am that Deandre Swift. So then we got Barry Sanders. This is where it gets a little bit interesting because Barry Sanders, in my opinion, is an S tier running back. He's tied for the fastest in the game, gets that evasive ability. Yeah, he has 86 speed, and I actually don't mind the way smaller running backs are playing right now. The thing is, though, I just don't think you should have chose Barry Sanders. I think Micah Parsons or Cam was a lot better of a choice. Even Cooper Kupp, likely better choice than this Barry Sanders right here. But that doesn't mean I don't think he's a great card. Like, all the cards were great. I just don't think you should have chose Barry Sanders. But if you did, you got yourself an S tier running back. Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the S tier as well. Pretty much the S tier, my thoughts on that is in like a competitive game setting, I trust them 100% on my field. I think Breece Hall does everything you want for a running back, is a pretty big back, 85 speed. Like, I think his player model is just bigger. I'm really high on Breece Hall. I love the way he's played and what I've seen from him. So I'm going to leave him in the S tier. Next over here, we got James Conner. 79 speed on James Conner is just terrible. I think he's awful. I'm going to put him F. Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon is probably the best running back in the game right now. Joe Mixon is awesome. Now, something I would say to do is take out backfield mismatch. I think short and elite on every single receiver is a must. I think it's the best ability in the game right now. And Joe Mixon can do it all. It might not look like he has the route running or the catching, but he can catch. He can catch perfectly fine. Has great break tackle. He's a great runner. In my opinion, Joe Mixon, RB1 right now. Miles Sanders, free reward from the field pass. I think Miles Sanders is a B tier running back. He is a really good free option, man. He's 84 speed, has some pretty good break tackle as well. I just think he's all the way around just solid, man. I like him more than Naji. I just think he's a good running back. Like, I don't think he's great. I don't think he's elite at anything, but I just feel like all the way around, he's just solid. Now, I'm going to say the same exact thing about David Montgomery. I feel like he is, again, just a solid running back. 83 speed with some really good break tackle. I think the most important stats for a running back that I'm looking at right now, of course, speed, but I think break tackle. Like, I just see a bunch of running backs making some crazy plays with the high break tackle. Then we got Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary is one of my favorite running backs in the game. 84 speed, this time with some really great break tackle as well. I can see the argument for Devin Singletary S tier. I really want to put him there because he is my running back right now, and I can't complain about him. I love the card. I love the card, man. Definitely CMS. I kind of want to put him there, but I am going to go ahead and lean towards the A tier. Clyde is very similar to Monty. I think Monty's a little bit better, but again, Clyde is just all the way around solid. He's not going to do anything elite. He's just like a solid running back. Now we got Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is still great. I'm going to go ahead and put Jonathan Taylor in that S tier, and I think he's better than Breece Hall. Is he better than Barry Sanders? I don't think he's that much worse, but I don't think he's better. But he's still really good. Has 85 speed with that 86 break tackle. I think Jonathan Taylor, he's viable to run. I think he's awesome. And then Aaron Jones is another card that I'm going to go ahead and put in the S tier. Now, I do think he's slightly better than Jonathan Taylor. Is he better than Barry? It's close, but I'm probably going to lean Barry Sanders, and I think Mixon is better than Aaron Jones. He has 86 speed with 85 break tackle as well. Kind of surprised that they didn't give him good route running, but again, I think he's still a really great running back. We got Antonio Gibson. He's pretty awful. He's only 80 speed. It just isn't good. And then Miles Sanders, 79 speed. James Robinson, 78. It's just too unusable. I just would not recommend to even try to use these cards. And again, Kareem Hunt, Rashad Penny, The cards are just really bad. They're slow. Now, I will say I'm going to move James Robinson up to D because he hits 80 break tackle. This Swift is also pretty awful. Melvin Gordon really isn't great either. Saquon, I can't put Saquon in F. I can't put Saquon in F, so I'm going to move Antonio Gibson up to D as well. I think Saquon is a solid running back, though. I feel like he just got absolutely hoed on his stats, like, terribly. Man, okay, James Robinson being on the same tier as this Swift card just isn't right. I'm going to move Swift up to C. Fat Zeke is pretty awful. He's 79 speed, doesn't hit 80 break tackle. Nick Chubb is really good. I'm gonna put Nick Chubb in B, but I could see the argument potentially for A. He has 83 speed, but really high break tackle as well. Me personally, I'd rather use Miles Sanders than him. I don't think Nick Chubb is great value at an 86 overall, so I'm gonna lean towards the B tier. Aaron Jones is pretty awful as well. Leonard Fournette hits 80 break tackle, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the D tier. Damian Harris, same exact thing, hits 80 break tackle. I will go ahead and order this as well. I think Saquon is the best card in D right now, and James Robinson is probably the worst. I really don't even like these cards a lot. Like, the jump from D to C is insane. Like, I would use these cards on my field. I would not use any of these cards on my field. Elijah Mitchell is pretty good. I am once again going to go ahead, put him in the B tier. He has pretty decent speed and also pretty good break tackle as well. Now, J.K. Dobbins, I'm a huge fan of. I think J.K. Dobbins is A tier. I can see the argument for running him. He's 85 speed, 79 break tackle this time, but having used the card, I just feel like he breaks a lot of tackles. Even though his break tackle is a little bit lower, like it doesn't hit 80 that I'm kind of looking for. He still breaks a lot of tackle. I believe it's to do with his player model and his weight. But yeah, I really couldn't complain about J.K. Dobbins. I thought he was really great. And I really like Tevin Coleman as well, but I think he was worse than J.K. Dobbins. So again, I'm going to put him in the A tier. Really great speed on him. Just again, kind of not like, I didn't feel like he broke as many tackles as J.K. Dobbins did. And Cam Akers, I think he's worse than Nick Chubb. I think he's worse than Elijah Mitchell as well. I'll put him as the best card in C, I guess. Like, I just don't think he's as good as Elijah Mitchell or Nick Chubb. Like, he doesn't hit 80 break tackle. He didn't break a lot of tackles for me. He's not the fastest in the world either. I could honestly see the argument of Najee over this card. Now we got Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson was my favorite budget card in the game. When the game first dropped, I loved this card. I thought he moved really well. I still think he's a solid option. I don't think he's the best in the world. He's the worst card in C tier, but I do think, like, I could see why you run him, especially if you're just trying to save some coins. King Henry has to be S tier. Now, King Henry's a tough person to rank. You could have him as RB1, or you could have him as the worst one here. Like, it just really depends how you play the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him, I'd rather use him than Aaron Jones. I'd rather use Mixon though, and I think Barry Sanders is a little bit better. Now, I'm thinking about dropping Breece Hall down to A. We'll see what happens. So if we get another card in S tier that I think is way better than Breece Hall, I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the A tier. Then we got Dalvin. Dalvin is really good. I like Dalvin. He's A or B for me. I think I'm gonna put him as the best card in B, potentially gonna move up into A, but he's 84 speed with some really good break tackle as well. I enjoyed using Dalvin. The thing is, I just really didn't feel like he was that much better than the Miles Sanders I used. I'm gonna lean B tier right now, but I could move him up into A. Then we got CMC. I really enjoyed using CMC. I'm gonna go ahead and have him in the B tier. I enjoyed using him over all these cards really. Like, okay, Nick Chubb is better than him, but I enjoyed using CMC more just with how I play, but Nick Chubb is better. I'm gonna go ahead and move up Dalvin into A tier. I just think Dalvin's awesome, so yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the A tier for him. And then next over here we got Kamara, who is just a slightly better CMC, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the B tier as well. Now, I did enjoy using Kamara over Nick Chubb as well. Great receiving back, has some really great break tackle as well. He can really do it all. Then we got Ekeler, who is on the same exact tier. I think he's a little bit worse than Christian McCaffrey, but again, I still think he is a really solid running back. And for the last card, Joe Mixon, who is really similar to Naji Harris. But I do like Najee a little bit better because he is huge. Now, I am going to go ahead and drop down Breece Hall as the best card in A tier, just to make it look a little bit cleaner in my opinion. But yeah, that has been my tier list. This is my thoughts on the current state of the running back position in Madden 23 Ultimate Team. Let me know your thoughts down below. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts though. Let me know if I'm sleeping on anyone. Let me know if you've had a lot of success with someone. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all did enjoy this video, man. If you did, make sure to go ahead, leave a like and subscribe, especially if you want tier list position by position and each promo that comes out. If y'all want to see me use some of these cards live and just talk about the cards, let me give you feedback live as well. Check the links in the description, hit the Twitch with a follow. I'd greatly appreciate that. If you enjoyed this video though and you want another video to watch, check this one out right here. I rank the best quarterbacks in Madden 23 Ultimate Team.